prices coming into them, it's reacting because supply and demand is sort of exchanging hands and building liquidity, but current demand is in control. That's why price is going higher. But yeah, back to the 1 minute. We look at that 5 minute POI. I know it went a bit lower, but you can see that even on the 1 minute you got an entry there. So where would the entry be? Well, yeah, there's two. There's one before that as well, just clean mitigation of demand. Then we get a flip. That's what I mean. That one there, and then the second one you've marked on there. That's a bit cleaner. Even an EQ play, you're looking at 3 pip stop loss, I reckon, and then you can take that and just trail structure into, well, just keep following that momentum. Yeah, so you tap in, stop loss just below. Yeah, 2 pips. What are you running at? Yeah, just like that. See, and if you take one trade like that, even for the week, do you know what I mean? You set.
When you don't take a trade like for a few days and then you're just like, like when it gets to like 8, 9 o'clock at night, and you're like, oh fucking hell, like I need to good positions today, and then you're just like,
Yeah,
you don't like get down upon yourself, but you're like, fucking hell, like there could have been something,
yeah, and then
and then the
that's when
next day,
people
like maybe
start,
one, eh?
and then that's when you can start forcing trades and start taking shitty trades. When really, you can go Monday to Wednesday and not really see any decent setups, but then you can get to Thursday or Friday and you can be up 30%, and that's just how it is, and that's why you need that
I
patience
think
is so
I
important.
think you should I think you should make a video on what we just done there. I think that's quite a good one to do. Like
Yeah,
when we
I
just
can
said
do it. But you mean like current momentum and against like previous momentum?
yeah, you could put as like a title current momentum versus previous momentum.
Yeah,
And do you know what we said there about that? What I said there about that 15-minute zone and getting caught up in that and then thinking,
yeah,
right, when you just look at any fucking zone and you're just like, oh, that's supply, right? And then
yeah,
within that, just put that in.
yeah. It's just not really relevant because of what price has done previously. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but this is what I mean. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at this. I'm thinking, right, fucking hell, I could get in short here. Like, say for example, I didn't take this into consideration, these demands, or I'm just looking at this high time frame, 15-minute
Yeah,
supply. Right, oh, we broke the low, right? Uh, and I guarantee you, there is people out there now that would have took something like that,
yeah. No, I agree. Yeah,
and then like they'll go off, and then they'll be slightly in profit, and they'll be like, oh yeah, yeah, 1 point, oh fucking, I can't move it to break even yet. I'm gonna wait for it to break this low, and then it just
yeah,
gets taken out. And I think that's the story of a lot of the positions that I do take. Like I get not confused, but I mistake supply for demand, and I'm trading it the wrong way, sort of thing.
yeah. And I know what you mean because I had the same issue. Like I definitely had the same issue, but then understanding what the current momentum is, what what
Oh,
is in control, supply or
that's all
demand.
right.
Say again.
That's all right. Yeah, if you would have took that fucking FTMO, you'd have been passed already.
Yeah, what's that? 10% in like 15 minutes, just from following what price is doing like currently. Because that lower zone, the 15 minute POI on GU, got taken out, didn't it?
What's that? Sorry, mate. I was just quickly reading something.
Yeah. So that go back to the 15 minute. Yeah. So that zone you've marked on, it all started from there really. Like prices reacted. We was looking for sells inside that zone, but then we got a flip on the lower time frames. Price pushed up, failed
Yeah, I
supply.
think that's fair.
Once
I
price,
think that's what I mean. That's where I'm
yeah, yeah,
getting confused. Like I'm not trading the momentum on the 1 minute. I'm still getting stuck on the 15 and seeing these sort of zones and thinking, fucking right, I'm gonna try and play this. But
yeah.
a lot
Because
of
the
the
the minute
stories
I
are
see
one.
like when you know that 15-minute wick that wicked up and broke supply. The minute I'm seeing that, I'm thinking, right, so I'm gonna drop to a 5 minute now, and I want to see why price has now fouled that supply, and we can see from that 5 minute that we had demand in control because it we had that 5 minute inducement that price broke, caused demand, mitigation, then we got a double break, mitigation, and then that's why price is now doing what it's doing now, like going to the moon.
Yeah, I'm getting more fixated on like waiting for this here short when really on the 1 minute this is already happening.
Yeah,
So like
yeah, yeah,
when I go down, I'm like fucking hell, it's already all of this has already all happened.
yeah, exactly.
So that's 12%, just like that.
Yeah, and if you're managing on structure, you've probably got well that down candle you can lock in there because obviously there's no real structure there, but obviously you don't want to give back like 13%, so you can lock in half of it. Or if you're running say 13% like this and there's no structure, you can partial like half the trade, leave the stop loss at break even, then wait for structure to form, and then let the
Yeah,
rest play out. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know if I'm a real big advocate of that though. Like, don't get me wrong, I get paying yourself, but then like, surely that has to become like when you're super aggressive on the one. Like
No,
say
yeah,
for
that's
example, you could I could
yeah, yeah,
move that up to 10, like there. That's sort of like, although it's not structure or anything, that's still like sort of nearly a. See, look at it now.
yeah,
Like you've got that sort of pulls in price before it, then you've got that momentum again. So this
yeah.
here,
So on a lower time frame, like a seconds time frame, that would be another sort of POI. And obviously, price is volatile, so you don't want to give back too much profit. Look, reaction from that. So that's on a 5 second. I'm guessing that's going to be a POI. What does price do? And also, like when if you don't partial and people say you're not paying yourself, even like if you're um, managing on structure, you're still paying yourself because you're locking in profit. So you are paying yourself. It's the same thing. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I'm guessing with like yours, where you've got such a high volume of capital, you obviously,
Mm.
well, even though you trail with structure points, are you still very super aggressive because obviously it's a lot of money in it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't want to give back too much, and in like earlier days, if I was running say I don't know 7%, and I had locked in 2%, I wanted to close it. Like
Mm.
my mindset and psychology was like, well, I've got to close this. That's too much money, and I did sometimes, like most of the time. But then I had to build like the emotion, that trade management, and just like stick to it. Because like running profit, like floating profit, it's not in the bank, is it? It's not your money. It's just floating. So I think if you're running like 15%, but you get taken out for 8, that's still 8%, isn't it? And you've banked that.
I know, but it's got that. I know, but you still have like 9% floating in the air sort of thing, don't you?
Yeah, but then you got to look at like over the course of the year. Do you know what I
Is
mean?
that you on? Is that you on Discord?
Nah, not me.
What's that beeping fucking noise then?
Um, I
Oh,
think
it only normally beeps when you write something for some reason.
yeah, I think someone sent a message and tagged me or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I had some people add me on after you put that thing up for the podcast.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah, people want to see that, don't they?
It's a good thing to do, like what we're talking about now. Like, there's so many different topics of discussion. Like, if I go on,
Yeah, it's definitely something that we can. Yeah,
because you've got to think how
yeah.
many.
There you go. Did you write that?
Yeah, I think I sent it to you. You've got so many things where you've got so many things you can actually talk about, like finding a balance and like your emotions, like what you were talking about then. Like
Yeah, man.
you can just
Definitely.
make so many things and slip them into so many different folders, and I think so many. It's not like it's a good thing to do, but it's like so much. I'm guessing there's times where, well, like you're saying, like now you're thinking, oh, what can I come up? You know, when you were saying to me yesterday on the phone, like, what can I come up with next, or what can I come up with next?
Yeah.
And like you're like trying to do like a spider diagram for like ideas or whatnot, brainstorming things. Like
You're always
that's just
looking for
more
ways to
things.
improve. Yeah.
That's just more things that you could put out weekly. That then, because say for example, you didn't put anything out for 2 weeks, people could say in the group chat like, "Oh fucking hell, where's that thing? Why didn't James put out a video?" But then podcasts you could just fire out weekly, every single Sunday, or
Yeah,
if they
man.
didn't bang out like a midweek thing or something like that, it's just like
Yeah.
there is never a chance for anyone to say like, "Oh, there's no content. Why is there not anything this week?" You know.
No, yeah, I definitely get what you're saying, mate.
It's like even like now, like we could probably talk for you could spend like 15 minutes each just talking about. I could be like asking. You could do like
There's
a submit your questions sort of thing, and like I could like do it on the podcast, and it would literally
yeah,
just say,
and like do requests as well. So whatever people want to see, like a certain topic, whether that be emotions, trading with a full time job, something. Don't know. There's a lot of things to go through, isn't there?
"Yeah, man, there is." God, fucking hell, mate! I've just gone on this. I'm in the queue for these tickets. There's 91,000 people ahead of me.
Ah, for the fight. How many? 91,000.
There's obviously so many people
That's
trying
crazy.
to get these tickets. Obviously, if I buy the tickets for £200 each and I buy four of them for 800 quid, I can then sell them for like probably like 2 grand.
Jesus Christ. When is it?
April 23rd. But it's
Mm.
a big heavyweight fight, like it's the big heavy for the title. So
Yeah, yeah.
if you get the seats on the floor, like in Wembley, there will be about 100,000 people going.
That's mad, isn't it?
Because it's 90,000 seats, and then they have about 10, 15,000 in by the ring, don't they?
Yeah.
Fucking hell,
Even
the
looking,
seats. Like,
even looking at GU now, 15 minute. We've we've now created another sort of area of demand. So price is more than likely coming back to pulling deeper back on the 1 minute into that 15 minute POI. Can you see that?
are you taking the wick of this setup?
No, for me, I wouldn't take the wick. I just take that candle.
The whole candle, the one before it broke.
Yeah, that last. Yeah, or the 5 minute inside bar. But I'd have my 15 minute POI, and I'll be looking at entries from that.
So that if we were to go back here, we're already in this position here. Like I say, it then just becomes a little bit messy, doesn't it? Fucks me off. So that is the 15 minute there,
Yeah.
and then if we're on 1 minute here, so if I just take this position off,
Mhm.
it's mental, isn't it? Everything just comes down to
Just fractal, innit? Markets are fractal.
do you mean like where everything happens on every single time frame?
Yeah, pretty much. Like
Like
something. Go on.
how would you then look to get into this now? Like obviously, because we have this level of demand on the 15th, where would you then be looking here?
Well, that 1 minute. So above that supply zone, demand zone, price is now sort of reacting to that 1 minute POI. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah.
And it could very well go up from there. But what it's most likely doing is building liquidity to then sweep lower into that 15 minute POI. But it doesn't need to do that. But you can see that we're just ranging around.
This is what I was saying. Like obviously, if we had that position on here now, and I'll pull this all the way out. Obviously, you would have probably if once we're running like highs of 12R, you would
Yeah.
have probably locked it in here, wouldn't you?
Honestly, even higher, way higher. Them two
What
that
here?
that inside bar above that.
Oh, what here? Yeah, you would have locked it in.
Yeah, because that's a lot of percentage, mate. Especially if you're trading like
That's what I mean. When
two
you're
hundred
trading
grand.
on,
Huh?
so yeah, that would have been just for 9.55R.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's the little
Mm.
subtle differences that I'm missing out on, that I'm not reading into. Do you know?
Yeah, and you also need to be on the ball. Like the 1 minute, obviously it moves fast, doesn't it? Like every minute is a candle, so you got to move. You got to be on the ball with it. Just takes time.
Like, how did you adjust to it when you was doing it? Like, how was you learning this when obviously FX Simplified wasn't a thing?
What you mean the 1 minute?
Yeah, like how was you learning? I was bet you was just taking even more losses than fucking the average when you're learning.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone does that. Anyone who says they don't, I think they're just lying. Like
Yeah,
even
because I've fucking been through it. I'm going for it.
yeah, like even everyone's been through it where they've made the switch from whether it was support and resistance, chart patterns, flags. You know, most people wasn't trading the 1 minute to start with. So it everyone goes through that stage where they're going to take loads of losses, understand their edge, what to do, what not to do, and it takes a long time. It takes a long time to learn that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it
You
is
just got
crazy.
to find your edge. And if you do your testing every day, if you've done your testing on say EU, like I don't know at 7 p.m. every night for that day, do that for 6 months, like religiously, and really take it serious. Then there's no way after 6 months you won't be in a really good position. You just won't. Do you know what I
It's
mean?
maybe something to it's something to maybe, I know you stress about it already, but
Yeah,
it's maybe something to really hammer home, like in things and that. Have you
yeah.
ever thought about doing like the podcast before? Have you ever thought about dropping something?
What the podcast?
Yeah, because obviously everyone in this Discord thing wants to hear how you done it. Everyone wants to hear. Do you know what I mean? It's more personal.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely something we should do. Um, and yeah, like I say, you can. It's something we can sort of do weekly with all the different topics. And if there's something someone wants to request, like specifically, then we can do that as well. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like it could be like like a sort of never-ending thing for you to always
Yeah.
mention. Like there's always something more that someone else wants to do or someone wants to know.
And for me personally, I don't like. Well, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't really listen to an hour long podcast. For me, I think the sweet spot is like 20 to 30 minutes. What do you reckon?
Yeah, and that's what I mean, man. That's the good thing about it because you know how much, you know how we talk, and like you fucking just fill time just like that. So
Yeah, true. Even
it's
this
like
call, I reckon, is probably an hour, isn't it?
that's what I mean. You can create so many just things like where we've known each other for